Science, mind, and religions. As discussed in the last speech, younger generation may challenge the old beliefs and traditions, comparing them with the modern achievements in the material sciences. Although every religious leader did not encourage free thinking, some leaders encouraged such questioning. Even the religious groups that did not encourage free thinking, certain parts of their doctrines and practices also provide reasonable solutions to many problems. As the task of converting all youngsters to religions that encourage free thinking is unethical and impracticable, it is important to convince them on the pragmatic value of following relevant practices taught in these religions, while keeping reservations on the areas that could not be agreed upon. Actually, most of the children believe what they learn in school as science is absolute truth and attempt to base their arguments and thinking on this belief. However, it is very clear that laws in science do not convey the absolute truth. Scientific theories are accepted when they can explain all historical facts and predict some results which are unknown up to that period. As an example, Newtonian laws were accepted without any objection until the acceptance criteria was met. However, we all know those rules do not convey the truth because they fail to explain the wobble of Mercury. Later, Einstein introduced a different theory which could explain the wobble of Mercury and predicted the bending of light closer to the sun. It is to be noted that neither Newton nor Einstein gained credit as truth finders in science, in spite of the fact that their theories are extremely useful to predict the behavior of nature. Therefore, the general belief that science conveys absolute truth is incorrect. On the other hand, no one challenged the presence of minds. Although science cannot either test it in a test tube or connect it to any measuring device, all religions accept the presence of mind and believe that performance of proper mental actions is capable of reducing our problems and thereby help us to be happy. As we all know, happiness and dissatisfaction are mental phenomena. It is not difficult to understand that though science can provide so many things in material form, those material objects alone could not create happiness, as happiness is a mental feeling. As a result, importance of psychology is accepted by almost everyone. Although so-called scientific methods are used by psychologists, psychology is not a material science. As dissatisfaction and happiness are mental phenomena, you can find it yourself without the help of an outside observer. Therefore, at least some of the criteria related to these mental states can be verified by anyone, including young adults and even children. As an example, happiness or dissatisfaction associated with recognition, curiosity satisfaction, relaxation, creative work, and self-expansion can be identified without much difficulty by almost any person with proper focus. It is interesting to observe that pragmatic approaches are adopted by many religions to enhance the opportunities to receive these higher levels of happiness. 1. Religious events, ceremonies, retreats, festivals, etc. are useful to build up social harmony. Participants are encouraged to establish social bonds and thereby gain opportunities to satisfy self-expansion needs. As example events such as Christmas carols or Buddhist processions organized by youngsters involve a preparation process that binds the team together. 2. Activities related to festivals provide ample opportunities to carry out creative work. Preparations related to decorations, lanterns, pandals, Christmas trees, or carols, organizing processions, dansalas, etc., are quite enjoyable events. Actually, to obtain higher level of satisfaction, associated work should not be a burden to anyone, and therefore the tasks should be simple. When the activities are performed by a group, the level of satisfaction is high as the self-expansion need is also satisfied at the same time. Further, all subtasks as well as the main task should be carried out leisurely. 3. Observing higher precepts and practicing meditation on special days or fasting during selected periods or participating in organized retreats will provide pleasurable relaxation experiences. Pilgrimages to holy places such as Bodh Gaya, Anuradhapura, Madhu, Ganges, or Mecca, etc., are also important events that provide mental peace through deep relaxation. 4. Listening to Dhamma sermons, weekly ceremonies at churches, etc., provide opportunities for internal stimulations. Dhamma discussions, reading books and articles written by scholars, listening and observing such programs through electronic media, etc., will also provide considerable satisfaction. 5. Common religious events will provide opportunities to build up social bonds. Further, talented persons are also likely to shine and receive recognition from others. 6. It is to be noted that religious events will also enable many people to appreciate others' creative work and also to stimulate his or her own senses, as beautiful decorations and dances, pleasant music, pleasurable aromas, and tasty food, etc., are also associated with them. It is to be noted that generally religions do not promote accumulating wealth for the sake of just becoming rich. However, acceptable methods of earning and protecting wealth are described in religious texts. The above discussion is based on achieving happiness through religious practices. Such activities have to be performed with proper preparation, and for that purpose, one should move away from undesirable habits. It is clear that killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, and using drugs and or intoxicants will interrupt the social harmony. Therefore, an alcoholic or a drug addict is not in a position to enjoy the happiness of self-expansion and to move in a social group, as his or her behavior is harmful to the other's well-being. It is to be noted that some religions tolerate these practices to a certain extent. Christianity and Islam allow killing animals for consumption, and Christianity consuming liquor on certain occasions, although Buddhism does not approve them under any circumstance. Therefore, it is important to understand the pragmatic value of religious practices, although it is not necessary to agree with their doctrines, beliefs, stories, and historical acts. In summary, recognizing the pragmatic value of religious practices allows us to cultivate mental well-being and social harmony independent of strict adherence to specific doctrines, examining how intentional actions shape our minds, choices, and lived experiences. We warmly invite you to join us for that discussion and continue this journey together. Until then, stay well.